Hello! This is another video where I am going to be kind of headless, but you kind of need to see the project and it's easier to see if I do the camera angle this way. So today I have this shirt that I again bought before everything went down and kind of things started getting cancelled. So I decided to make it for myself. And it's going to be super simple. And no fuss, no hassle, and we're just gonna make it pretty. Because I am sassy and I do not like adulting, I'm gonna use this I'm not adulting today. Tomorrow doesn't look good either. Transfer. And then I really love this French Market, the French Market border that came, this was a exclusive Chalk Couture transfer that came last month, so it would have been March. So was from March, so I'm gonna use that to kind of frame this because it isn't a huge design, but I'm just really excited to get to use it. So I've already put cardboard underneath my project so that the ink doesn't leak to the other side, because that would look really awkward and terrible if that happened. And so with ink, you don't have to fuzz your transfers when it's going on fabric, just because it's going on fabric, so that's enough fuzzing. And there's a little break in the cardboard that I need to try and avoid if possible, or at least make it so it's kind of in between things, because otherwise it's going to make things really awkward. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, there we go. So we've got it moved so that it's out of the way, and we'll just have to move it back when I do the frame, because there's not enough room of the cardboard up here to do the frame. Okay, and I'm just gonna take my clean squeegee and make sure that everything's stuck, because I've used this transfer several times before, so it's not as sticky. So we just want to make sure those edges are nice and tight so the ink doesn't leak through. Okay. Now, sorry, I had to get up on my knees to easily reach. For my colors, I have this green, because green's my favorite color. This light blue, the green is meadow green in the ink. The blue is Ocean Mist, which is a really nice light blue. And I'm going to do the border and the dots in that light blue. And the green is going to be all of the words except for adulting. Adulting is going to be my next favorite color, which is this silver. And I know I talk about how I like ink a lot, but it's true. I find inks a lot easier to work with than the paste, because you don't have to worry about dry time as much. And I mean, you get to make pretty clothes, banners, whatever the heck you want to do. Okay, so I did leave the top on this one because there's ink on that top, and I can use that ink instead of wasting it. So I'm going to use this to do the dots first, and I'm just going to make sure I don't have any ink on my hands so that I don't accidentally transfer it to the shirt. And that's another thing I really like about Chalk Couture, is the ink and the paste last forever, because you don't have to use a lot of ink or paste when you're doing projects. So it lasts forever because you get these 3-ounce jars. And so let me know in the comments down below, for those of you who are watching, have you tried Chalk Couture before, or heard of it? And if you have done either of those, what interested you the most, or what did you enjoy the most? Alright, I'm just being fussy because I don't like any ink or paste going to waste if I can help it. And there's a dot where I'm not quite sure that my ink has gone through. There we go. Okay, and so we're going to put this aside because I don't need it now until I get to the frame. And then I'll grab the green because I'm going to use this a ton. Okay. And again, I've got some on the lid, so I'm just going to grab that first. And then I'll wipe it back into the jar here, all the excess. The important thing about ink that I sometimes struggle with is to make sure you don't get it off of the edge or into areas where you don't want it to be. So I'm getting really close to that adulting. So I'm just gonna stop going down there and abandon that ink. But I still have some up there that I can get. Kind of need to know when you should stop getting ink. And then because I was using this mini squeegee that I cut in half because of how tight I'm Not is with everything, but now where I've got the Today and Tomorrow doesn't look good either that I'm going to do in green, I'm going to grab an actual mini squeegee. And I'm just gonna keep spreading it around and just making sure that it gets pushed through in a thin layer. The thin layer is important. You don't want any leakage. And then you're just gonna put that on your transfer. And it is best to not do what I did, which in that case, which is to put it directly on the silk screen. Instead, just put it on the side and then drag it onto the silk screen so that you don't have leakage. And it'll make your design look a little bit not as crisp. I don't know, that sound just kind of like on the verge of the cardboard, like, you know, cardboard or styrofoam rubbing on each other. That's what it's almost on the verge of here. Okay, so I think that's good for the moment with the green. So I'll just put my mini squeegee into water where I can clean it later. And that is quite tight, so what I'm going to do is grab that mini squeegee that I used for the gray or the green earlier, and I'm going to just wipe it, make sure all the green ink is off of it from the water, and then grab my paper towel and dry it, and then you can reuse it. So that's really great, and that is one thing that Chalk Couture is really great about, because it's all of the products, for the most part, except some of the surfaces, are reusable. So these transfers that I'm using, you can reuse them 8 to 10 times at least, and if you take good care of them, then you can use them even more. Obviously, these pastes, they're 3 ounces, and you can use them for, well, not forever, obviously you're going to run out at some point, but you can use them for quite a few projects because you don't use a lot. And then some of our surfaces are reusable. Wood and fabric obviously are not, because the wood is porous and soaks the paste in, so the only way you're getting that to be reusable is to sand and repaint it. And then the our fabrics are obviously not reusable, because if you put stuff on fabric, it's kind of there. So, but that's why Chalk Couture is worth it to me, because you're reusing a lot of stuff and you can choose what you're willing to spend your money on, and transfer wise you're gonna reuse those several times before they lose their stickiness, and even then you probably can't use them on fabric projects because obviously they need to have some stick in order to get on the fabric, but the you can definitely do glass, just use tape or art placement tape or something like that. Okay, so I've got all the paste done, so I'm just gonna pull this up. Just gonna take it cautiously because I don't want anything to come pull up. And there we go. So part one is done. Let me just move some of this stuff off of it so I can show you up close and personal. I really like that silver. I think it really stands out. The green is a little less, mostly because it's so dark, but I still like it. The camera kind of doesn't pick it up as much. It's much lighter in person, so I can easily read it. But yeah, so that's part one. And as you can tell, it is kind of still wet, so I'm gonna be very cautious with the border. I'm just gonna move this around so I can get it to a good spot so that I can do my border, because I love this French, I love the thing, and I think the market would really go well with some of our farmhouse stuff, but I'm just kind of like, I'm not into necessarily all the farmhouse stuff, but this border makes your piece look 10 times better, easily. So we'll just pull that off, and again I'm going to make sure I don't have any paste on or ink on my hands because we don't want to transfer that to my design. So we are just going to do my best to center this, and I can kind of see the design through my shirt or through the silk screen for the French, so I'm hoping I'm getting it nice and centered. Where's the last dot? Okay, so about there. Where's the last dot? There. I'd say it's about the same, so we'll do this. Except I think I want to move it up just a tad. And the best part is this is the perfect size to frame it. But that being said, if you have a bigger design or you have a smaller design and obviously you want the border closer, then all you have to do is put your top half down first or your bottom half, whichever you want to do, and put that down, and then move the transfer to wherever you want the bottom or the top, whichever you haven't done yet. Okay, and I'm just making sure that is well pressed down on the edges, not so much the center, because I don't want to pull up that, I don't want to pull up the ink I put down. Okay, and again, just going to use this blue. And grab my mini squeegee because I have more room to play, so the mini squeegee is perfect. I got some glue on my thumb, so I'm going to wipe that on the transfer. And then, like I said, just put it on the edge of the silk screen and then drag it onto your design. And that didn't take a lot of ink, if you could tell. I didn't grab a whole ton, and it's probably going to do me the majority of this design. I'm trying to be very careful not to get in any of that ink. And so this is a Chalk Couture transfer, which means the only way you're going to get it is if you're a Chalk Couture designer. So someone who is signed up with them to sell. Well, you don't have to sell if you're a Chalk Couture designer. You can do it just for crafting, because we do have some perks that even if you're just crafting, if you're going to be spending a lot, it's well worth it. Or if you're going to be spending quite a bit, then it's well worth the perks, even if you're just doing it as a crafter. But if you want to sell, you can also do that. It's your choice. You kind of choose what you want this to be. But yeah, so Chalk Couture is really great because you do get an exclusive transfer that no one except for designers and Chalk Couture members are going to have. And they're I've seen a couple for sale after the fact, but it was like they must have had overstock kind of thing. So they kind of did one giant sell off of several of the previous Chalk Couture ones, but that's very rare, and you're not necessarily going to be able to find the ones that you want kind of thing. So if you want an exclusive transfer delivered to your house every month with 3 paste packets, then definitely sign up for Chalk Couture. For Canadians, it is $26.99 with free shipping. Chalk Couture members do get a discounted shipping rate if you do purchase extra products other than obviously your membership. And so regular flat rate shipping to Canada is $13.95 for regular customers. For Chalk Couture customers, that drops by $4 to $9.95. So you'll get even more savings. And not to mention, every month Chalk Couture members get special deals. So for instance, the deal this month is the select textiles surfaces are on for 50% off, and that's more, I'll give you a hint, that's more than designers get off. So you're definitely getting a deal for those surfaces, especially because we just repriced those, so they're a little bit less expensive, and that I've been told is permanent as far as I'm aware. Okay, I think I finally have enough on there that I'm happy with. Okay, but yeah, if you want to sign up for Chalk Couture, Chalk Couture, just go to my link and click on Chalk Couture, and you can sign up. It is a 3-month commitment, so you do only have to pay month to month, but you do have to agree to pay for 3 months kind of thing. All right, and let's just pull that. All right, and I'm just gonna put this in a bowl of water because I do have to clean that off, and I don't want it to get everywhere. Okay, so I think that turned out pretty good. Let me just straighten it a little bit, get out the creases, and there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this heat set for at least I'm going to let this sit for 24 hours to fully dry. When it has dried for 24 hours, I will then I'll then use my iron to heat set it. And when I heat set it, it will be good to go. I can throw it in the laundry and it will be all good. It won't peel up. That's the most important part, because it's ink, it's going to sink down into the fabric, and when I heat set it, it's going to seal it into the fabric. So you're not going to have the problem of the design starting to peel or pull up or any of that thing. It's going to stick there. Alright, so I'm just gonna go set this aside somewhere safe and clean my transfers. I hope you have an excellent Saturday. I know obviously the situation is tough right now, but I hope you enjoy the sun while we have it, because I hear we're supposed to be getting some negative weather a little bit later today. But yeah, enjoy. Bye.